Okay, so hello, my name is Joseph. I was born in a town in England called Northampton, which is about 45 minutes, more or less, 50 minutes, maybe an hour from London. And I am 36 years old. I've been a Christian since I was 18 years old, so I think that's about 18 years. Yeah. So I gave my life to Christ when I wanted to discover who Christ really is. It's a good question, very hypothetical. I think I wouldn't know exactly where I would be. Not necessarily, I don't think it would be a bad thing. I guess I'd just be more of the world, so maybe probably working more for money, or maybe going out socializing with my friends a lot more, and possibly doing things which are in the eyes of God that are a sin. So yeah, I believe that's what I probably would have been doing. I believe that God gives visions to everybody, as He knows everything and He knows the beginning and the ending of everybody's lives. So I believe the vision that God has given me is to keep His commandments, to seek after Him and love Him and keep His commandments. So you got the two greatest commandments, love God with all your mind, heart, spirit, soul and strength. And then you got the second greatest, which is equal to the first, which is love your neighbor as yourself. So by completing these two greatest commandments, you actually complete all the commandments that God wants you to complete, and which is all of the commandments. So by God giving me this vision, that's what I would do for the future. And it's, I guess it's never, exactly what it's going to be, but it will be love your neighbor as yourself. And every day that can be in different forms, in different ways. Spreading the gospel, maybe preaching, maybe prophesying, and maybe even going to places that I'm not normally used to going to and sharing the gospel there, or even just helping somebody out in secret. So the vision from God, I believe, and for sure I know, is this. Good question. Yes, I would like to. I think one of the most memorizing testimonies I've heard was there's a lady in England. She's a Christian. She goes to a Pentecostal church in England somewhere. I can't remember exactly. And her name is Carolina. She's originally from Venezuela, but she's living in England at the moment. So an unfortunate situation is that her dad was in a very bad situation regarding his health, and he was living in the United States. So she wanted to see her dad, so she bought a ticket to go to America. However, I think she was on a visa, I think she's on a student visa, and I think her passport was out of date. So she went to the airport. When she got to the airport, the air company still let her on the flight to fly. And for me, that's a miracle in itself almost, because in the UK, if you don't have the correct paperwork, it's really difficult to get into the country. But if you've got an out-of-date passport, I think it's probably even harder to fly to a country, leaving the country. I mean, if you're in another country trying to get back to the UK, I think it might be a bit easier. But to leave the country and then come back without a validated passport is a very difficult situation. So the fact that the air company let her go on this plane, she ended up going to America. She saw her dad, and then maybe a few days later, her dad had passed away, had died. So for me, that testimony is a miraculous testimony, because if she hadn't gotten on that plane, she wouldn't have been able to see her dad before he had died. So the fact that situation all happened, and like I said before, living in England with not the correct passport, an out-of-date passport, etc., it makes it that much harder to do that. So for me, I was like, yeah, that has to be God in that situation. So that's the testimony I like to share. nowadays I don't think we see very much sort of raising from the dead testimonies. Reach is a platform where basically we try to share the gospel. So we create Bible verses, posts, we create videos and some other content in the future to share the gospel with others, whether people are believers or non-believers. So the way we reach people, no pun intended, the way we reach people is through digital media basically. So we create posts using Bible verses, and then we share these posts on a platform. And nowadays, as people are very in tune with Instagram, Facebook, etc., people will be able to see these type of posts and videos on their social media. Okay, so Reach also, apart from obviously sharing the gospel through digital media posts, they also try to help churches which don't have much knowledge regarding digital marketing, to sort of digitalize their way of reaching the younger generation, or other generation, should I say, through digital media. So if one particular church doesn't really know how to use Facebook, Instagram, or use the computers to make such posts or information, we Reach can help these churches do that for them, and therefore expand how the gospel and how their influence on the community is done. Okay, well, yeah, so thank you for the interview. Like I said before, my name is Joseph, and hello everybody who I know. I'm not going to say a list because no man hace la pena, but God bless you all, and yeah, keep God's commandments.